Wow. Good evening. Crikey. Do you know what? I expected not to see anybody. I was, because it was so late that I decided to put the show on, that I expected not to see anybody. But I'm so proud and so happy that you're here. Dawn, Christine, Lynn, there's Karen, Barry, Vivian, Eileen. Wow, everybody's coming in the room. Please don't forget, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button, really important. Share the show. Share the show with your friends, share the show with your family, especially tonight's show. And I hope you like the new background for moments. It's kind of funky, I think. Denise, welcome to the show. Christine, welcome to Lavender Cactus. Christine, welcome to the show. Lovely to see all of y'all. Now, listen, Dawn should be joining me momentarily anyway, but if you want to come on to the show tonight and talk to me, we can make that happen, all right? So if you want to come on here and have a chat, isn't going to be an issue. Kaz Williams, welcome to the show, my darling. Great to see you. Thanks very much for responding, coming on live. It's funny how stuff motivates you. And I would say, without sounding rude or in any way negative in any way, I think, what was that? I stopped counting at 61 messages asking me about a certain person's broadcast yesterday, and was what he said correct? I had drawn a line under that particular person, to be absolutely honest with you. I had just got that enough's enough. But when you get 61 people sending you a link saying you need to see this and asking me questions, it really is time to think, okay. Now, I just have to do one thing, right? I got to do one thing and then I will be straight back. So, enjoy this Patreon advert, and I want to invite you to my Patreon channel. So if you haven't as yet seen my Patreon channel, watch this advert and I will be back straight after this. There we go, guys. Look who's in the room. Hello.
Hola.
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 ¿Cómo está?
Happy Sunday. How are you doing?
It is. It is a happy Sunday. Every day is a happy day. Now, there's two reasons why we wanted to do this show tonight. I've been chatting with Dawn, as you can imagine, during the day. But the second reason is I had so many of you lovely. I kid you not, it waxed me in my heart, sending me messages asking how Johanna is and how she's getting on. So I thought, well, do you know what I'll do? Rather than respond to about, I think it was 186 people one at a time, I just thought, well, look, I tell you what, come on to the show tonight and I'll answer your questions and I'll talk about who she is and where she is and how she's doing. In the meantime, we've had more people come in. Jane, welcome to the show. Denise Veriucci, I love the Italian names, you know. I am a big fan of Gino D'Acampo. Denise, welcome to the show. I noticed you're on Facebook, Denise. Could I invite you to come off Facebook? Come off Facebook, go over to YouTube. In the top search bar, when you go into YouTube, there's a search bar. Just type in Paul Francis 111 or Paul Francis Medium. Straight back here. And come in. If you haven't already, by the way, subscribe to the show, please do. There are 3 shows a week. There's this show. Dawn isn't aware that I was going to spring this upon her, but now I'm going to. There's this show. There is Ghost 22, of which Dawn and I are like that. And we have my show on Thursday, which Dawn is going to regulate for me because there's so many people asking questions and I miss so many of them. I'm really sorry I miss you. So if you do ask me a question on the Thursday night show and I don't respond, it's not that I'm being rude. It's It moves so fast. Dawn will tell you, it moves so quickly. The messages go boom, boom. Because I've had a few people saying, are you ignoring me? I'm like going, I didn't even see you on there. And it's not me being rude or condescending in any way. Am I right, Dawn?
No, not at all. And I was going to say, if you've got any messages, like, or any questions, you can always message us in the week, and I can write it down and ask you when we're on.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. So if you've got any specific messages that you want me to sort of highlight at the show when I'm opening up, when I'm opening up, you actually don't realize it, but you're watching me opening up. So when I'm sort of down like this here, I'm actually talking to my guides and starting to build up the energy around me. But like I say to you guys, always, the energy works as a combination of two. Like imagine a telephone has to have two ends. Telephone can't have just one end. I'm one end of the phone and you're the other end of the phone, and in between the energy moves. So the messages get sent to me. Then imagine me being an operator. That's a really good, that's a really good sort of design of it. If you imagine me sitting there, the old school operator where you plug in like that, so the messages come in and I send them through. I don't get involved with the call. In other words, the messages come in, you get them. So that's a really good idea. If you want to have any particular questions answered and you don't want to wait till the show, send them down to Dawn. Dawn will analyze them. Dawn will probably pass them on to me and say, hey, right, here's the first 3 questions you need to answer when you come on the show. You all know me for many, 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 many years now, so you know that I won't lie. And I won't look at the you know, I won't sort of look at the question and then try and do some research. That won't be the case. If you ask me a very technical question and I don't know the answer, I will say, hey, listen, thank you very much for your question. I didn't know the answer to it, but here's how I find out. And that's what I will do. And again, we're having lovely people come and join us. Shaylee has joined us. Shaylee, welcome to the show. Good to see you. I was going to say Dawn Hatham's joined us, but she's sitting in front of me. Vanessa Mayo, Vanessa, welcome to the show, my darling. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And as Denise is saying, please, guys, hit that like button. If you have hit it, just leave it alone, because if you hit it twice, you switch it off again. So like it and share the show with your friends and family. Now, tonight, I'm going to dedicate moments to spirit specifically, but it's in counteraction to the 60-something plus messages that I got about asking me questions about a particular broadcast that was aired yesterday. Needless to say, those of you are coming in going, huh? It wasn't me that did the broadcast. In fact, I was actually in Exeter Hospital when the broadcast was sent to me, and Johanna was sitting me going, what are you doing? I said, just doing a bit of research. Because if I'd have told her I was working and she would have, sick or not, would have given me a slap around the ear. I was sent, I can't remember how many people sent me a link to the show, but a lot of people were sending me the link saying, this is worrying me, what do you think? Now, Dawn, I sent you a link to the show, that show, and I said, could you look at it and, you know, come up with thoughts and ideas and even questions for that matter? And because if I go into it hell for leather, the way my brain is going, it will look that I have a particular reason to grind an axe, won't it?
Yeah. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one because it's all a matter of perspective. So what your perspective is not somebody else's perspective. And you can try and explain things to people the way that it is, but unless they're ready to take the information on board, it can always be flipped and misconstrued to their perception.
Well, right. Okay, let's clear that up for everybody who's watching. Perspective being the recipient, not the presenter. Now, what she means by that is it's all about the perspective of the person who's received the information, because they're now coming to me saying, "Is this right?" And I'm going, "No." Now, the perspective is what Dawn's talking about is not from the person who actually presented the show. That perspective is so far wrong. In one point, I actually burst out laughing. At one point, I actually burst out laughing. It was so bad.
See, I don't like anybody is wrong or right in anything because, like I said, it's perspective. So, in their mind, that's all they know. So that's all that they can speak about.
Well, that's not true.
Whether
I've had long discussions with this
embellished,
person.
yeah, but whether it's embellished and dramatized
Well,
to
here's the thing.
people in a certain vibration of fear.
Well, yes and yes, with equally resounding no, because some of the advice that he was giving yesterday, it was clearly taken from my book.
Okay.
But he didn't understand it. So according to him, to clear energy out of a corner, you just throw salt on it, which is not the case. And one person actually said, what's the best way to clear energy out of a house? He went incense.
Yeah, I did.
Absolutely
You can't
not.
just throw incense, prayers, herbs, and you can't just do that because it's manifested from something. It's not just. It's not something like. Yes, you can get attachments and stuff like that, but it's not something. You've got to be in a certain vibration for it to attach to you to start off with.
Yeah.
It's not something that, if you're living in joy and peace and in the present moment, then you're pretty. Nothing can really attach itself to you. But if you're going to go, if someone has told you that there's a demonic entity in something, you've got that perspective already, and you've already got the perspective of what you've been taught through since birth. So through religion, through movies, through the TV, through everything you've come into contact with, you've got your own perception of what a demon is. And there's different levels.
Well, it's a matter of understanding. It's a matter of understanding. Really, it's not. That's the bottom line. It's a matter of understanding what it is you do, where it is you are, what it is you're dealing with, and the ability of how to deal with that thing. So, if I was to go into you, okay, I'm going to ask you a straight question, and I want straight. Not that I have to say I want a straight answer, like I'm going to get anything different. If I just went into you and said to you, right, I went into this place and I was battling a demon and I battled it and I battled it and I battled it. And I came out and went, I've won, your house is clear. And then I went home and said, demon was in my house. Did I win?
No, obviously
Exactly.
not.
No, you didn't.
Well,
And shouting and screaming and punching and jumping up and down is not going to get rid of a negative energy, demon
negative
or not.
feeds on negative energy.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Listen to that, ladies and gentlemen of the planet, all of the world. I'm going to say it. Donna said it. I'm going to say it again. Negative energies feed off negative energy. So shouting and screaming and telling it to beep off isn't going to work. It's actually going to enhance it.
The more you cry,
shouting and screaming, that is never in a billion years will that work.
You know
in fact, what you're doing is handing it batteries. There you go. There's more energy. Here's more energy.
This is what I was saying about the levels. So you start off with something that just niggles you a little bit, and you feed that with something, so something else will go on top of it, and you feed it, and you tell everybody, oh, this thing really pissed me off, and you spread that, and it grows, which is what I was saying. It goes up in an escalation, and it's kind of like then you start looking for things to be negative about, and then you start bringing negative things into your life, and the more negative you get, the higher up the escalation of the negative entity you're going to
until
attract.
It gets to the point where it's actually uncontrollable. So, one thing I'd like to say, Denise has just said it spot on. Denise has said, our thoughts and words are so powerful. Now that is coming from so many different levels. She is so right. If you read my book, it actually states you affect the area and energy around you, and the area and energy around you affect you. That's what it says in your book, in my book. So basically, if you come in say for example, you worked in a place that you weren't happy with. You just had to go to a factory. Not that I'm saying it's bad to work in a factory, I'm not saying that. But if you had to work in a factory that you didn't enjoy and you had to go to that job because you needed to put food on the table and a roof over your family's head, but you literally hated your job. As you come in every single day, when you come in every day, you are literally a dump truck of energy, and you just dump that energy into your surrounding household. Also, another thing that a lot of people don't take on board is you actually dump that energy into your car. Okay. Now, here's what a lot of people don't, what they do automatically. They take the energy from home with them to work, and they create a loop like that. And that loop just continues like that. Now, when you are sitting in your house, say, for example, you're on vacation or you're at the weekend or something, and you're sitting in your house and you're wiped out and you don't understand why. You think, oh, I didn't do much all day. Why am I so tired? Or you start arguing with the families around you, your friend and families that come in, and you've no idea why you're feeling a little bit sort of agitated. It's because you're sitting in primordial soup of a negative energy. And in my book, I did a real intense way of how to break down the energy in your home, in your car, and in your workplace, and how to keep that cleansed. I call it a psychic spring clean. Now, if you don't do that, that primordial soup of negative energy will just continue to grow and grow and grow to the point that other external negative energies will be able to use it. All right. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit to something Dawn said.
Hang on a minute. Kaz has said negative energy isn't necessarily a demon, and this is very true. This is what we need to get across to people.
Yeah.
Negative energy is not a demon.
All right.
It takes a lot.
Let me explain that. Dawn.
Demon.
Dawn.
Yeah.
You've crossed over, but you don't know that.
I know.
You've crossed over. We're here talking. We're talking, and I'm talking to Kaz, Denise, Shaylee, Lynn, the whole 9 yards, and we're talking, and you're trying to get your 5 pence in all the time, and we're just ignoring you. What's going to happen?
You know how pissed off I get.
You'll get pissed off. But because you're pissed off, are you evil?
No.
Right. Thank you very much. What I'm trying to tell people is a lot of these psychics out there haven't a clue about what is negative and what is just agitated and what is real, true evil. Okay. Let me tell you, I have this person goes, I've been doing this 21 years. Well, I'm doing a double that. Okay. Let me tell you something about evil. Evil doesn't come up and tell you it's evil. You could be chatting away to Satan himself and you would never know it. He will not come up and go, I'm going to take your soul. That's not how he works. He will work from way, 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 way in the background. And there's something that the negative energy aspects of our lives has that we don't have. What do you think that is, Dawn?
What, sorry, I was looking at the chat and daydreaming a little bit then. Sorry, I was thinking about things to say.
It has patience. It has patience, and it will wait.
And
it will wait, and it can wait until the right time. And that right time is when you've been building up that primordial soup of negative energy. Oh, by the way, the other thing that he said was, don't listen to anybody else. That is probably the worst line you could spin to any human being on the planet. Never, ever. You will never hear me say, don't listen to anybody else. Okay, you'll never hear me say that. Go and watch, go and learn, because you might sit down with the most, shall we say, idiotic, and I've seen it happen because I was party to it, idiotic cretin of a psychic medium, and they'll say that one thing in that moment, and you go, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to mention said psychic medium, but she's English. She was extremely heavy in weight, and then she got really, really thin. So I'm not going to say who she is, but I was watching her. Huh?
Did her name begin with an S?
In more than one aspect. Um, oh, by the way, have you realised you've done Dawn G22 instead of
I
Dawn
have.
Moments?
I know, but I
Oh.
didn't realise moments. You can't keep me on the ball like that all the
Oh, I
time.
can. Welcome to
Sunday.
working with Paul Francis.
I've just had me.
One thing I wanted to say to quickly backtrack, because it will disappear in my mind if I don't bring it up. Dawn mentioned it about 5 minutes ago, that you can be the most placid person and energy won't follow. That's not true. It can, because if it's of a similar ilk, it can still follow you home. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cause you any grief. You have spirits around you all the time, no matter where you are. You can be walking into houses of which already contain multiple levels of energies and spirits and ghosts, for that matter. You may not interact with them; they might interact with you. If you're a very sort of highly charged person, you will probably pick up on the energy, but that's neither here nor there. For an example, we were doing a recce in a beautiful graveyard in Truro, and I specifically did a very important part of that sort of meeting at the end of the night. I went off on my own and I sat down and I did prayer, I did communication, I did angelic communication, all to make sure that every member of the team was separated from all of the spirits that were in that graveyard, and they were sort of advised that you cannot follow us home. You must not do that. Okay. But there was a lot of prayer involved, and there was a lot of other bits and pieces as well. It took me about 15-20 minutes to do, but not one member of the team ever once said, oh, by the way, I've got some weird stuff going on. Because if you take the time to practice what John Edward taught me, psychic self-defense, okay? If you take the time to practice it, the likelihood of you being followed home isn't very, very high. It can still happen, because if you have an energy in a graveyard who's been, not been able to communicate with any living person, for example, or if their loved ones come and visit them, but they can't make that connection, they're delivering all of the links, the information, but the loved ones can't make the connection. And they realize, oh my God, that person can talk to me. Then they're going to try and talk to you and try and link in with you, okay? It doesn't mean in any way, in any form, that they are negative, they are bad, they're evil, anything that way. They'll come to you. Now, another thing was, I'm going to let you talk about the curtains, because I can't keep my face straight when I'm talking about it. So the other thing is, we openly, as people, and this person apparently openly invites his family and friends who cross to come and visit him on a regular basis. Yet, he then talks about not allowing that to happen. About kicking them out. Oh, by the way, shouting and screaming, get out, will not work. Not work. Not one in a zillion years will not work. Throwing salt at a wall will only make your carpet dirty. And even if I was to prepare every element that you needed to do a house clearance, if I personally was to prepare it for you and would give it to you in a package, the likelihood of it working, probably 80%. Because there's more behind it than just the tools, right? And he never mentioned any of that. Not once did he mention that to all of the people watching that particular show. There is more to it. There is intent. You can clear. I used to clear my office with incense, my favorite incense, but it's the intent, and it's the energy, and it's the prayer, and it's the connection and the orientation that you have to do in order to make this work. Standing there saying the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, if you don't believe in it, you just as well be singing Mary, Mary has a little lamb, because it's not going to work. The Lord's Prayer is one of the most powerful and potent prayers out there. But if you don't believe in Christianity, it will not work.
Now, I heard the original Lord's Prayer that was like directly translated from the Sanskrit.
Yeah.
You've seen that? It's directly translated, and it's totally different to what we say in church. It's the intent behind it. but the one that everybody recites in church has got nowhere near as much power as this original. I'll send you the video because I think this from Hebrew. The one that they originally translated went through all the different languages before it got to what we know now, and
Yeah.
this one goes from to that, and there's no question about what it means, what it can do, and how powerful it is. But it's the intention behind it.
It's the intention. You must
Yeah.
have, and every word that you utter, every single word that you utter, you must have absolute conviction. Absolute conviction.
Not
Otherwise, you just literally out and you might as well be reading out of a magazine because it will not affect in any way. I will be doing a seminar on clearing, but I'm going to video the seminar. So probably the person videoing the seminar you're looking at on the screen. So I'll be videoing the seminar, and I'll be putting that seminar up on our Patreon channel so that you can go and visit it as often as you like. Because if you go through the ritual, because it is a ritual, don't think for 1 second the word ritual is in any way leaning towards the occult or anything negative. A ritual is practiced by a priest every single day in mass. It's a ritual. Okay. If you sit down, for example, if you're a very religious person, which I have absolutely zero problem with, I might be what you might recall a recovering Catholic. I mean, that doesn't mean that I don't believe in Catholicism or Christianism anymore. I do believe, but I have a little bit less disconnection from it because there is too much other phenomenal information coming from other sources to make one be the right one. So anyway, irrespective, I'll be doing this seminar on how to, and we will be doing it together. I'll be doing the one that's in my book, The Safe Way. Dawn will most likely be coming in with some of the stuff that she uses as well, and a combination or an affiliation of both will help you clear. Now, you will not clear a house in one sitting. Forget it. You won't be able to do it. Okay. I mean, I couldn't do it. So a sitting could take 2, 3, 4, even 5 attempts before you start to clear it. Okay. Because, and here's why, because you're human. If you've got a big house, for example, say this house here's got 5 bedrooms, and the kitchen, I could skateboard from one side of the kitchen to the other. It's that big. By the time I've cleared this one out and gone into the living room, which is equally as big, and cleared it out, cleared the hallway out, then the cupboards downstairs, the utility rooms, the garage, and the little loo. Before I even start on the stairwell, I'm wiped out. Okay, so the elements that you're getting on the upper levels won't be as powerful as the one that you started because you're tired, and that's okay. That's all right. Continue on with the ritual through every single room and every little broom cupboard in your house, and including the attic, by the way. And then do it again and again. I guarantee you will feel a massive change in your house, in energy and the energy of the people involved in your property. I know a super technical guy, a guy who can take helicopters apart and put them back together again. His wife took my book, did the ritual. He walked into the house and went, okay, what's different? What's different? Okay, and he didn't believe in what I did. She didn't tell him anything. She just went ahead, did the clearing, and she did it intensely. I taught her how to do it. She's a good friend of mine. And her husband walked in, who is a highly trained helicopter mechanic, and he immediately felt it as he walked in the house. So it is what I do, what I teach is real. So let's have a look at what. Oh, I love this show, says Denise. Thank you very much, Denise. Very kind of you to say. I did see there you are. Voyati Stefan. I said that with the accent. Did you hear that? Is written in. Has written in it, and I'm assuming that may be Italian. I don't know. Prive.
On YouTube.
It's on Facebook, but I can't read that. So if anybody can read that and transfer that to English for me, that would be fantastic.
I think it says thank you for your guidance.
Say again?
I think it says thank you for your guidance.
I'm sorry, but if you are saying that, Stefani, you're very welcome. You are very, very welcome, and more than happy to hang out with us. Please do start sharing us around Italy, because I might be buying a house in Italy. Kaz Williams says, I use meditation and incense to surround myself and protect with a protective veil, to be calm and not to take other people's negative energies. Yes, you can be caught off guard sometimes, but do it again. That's not a bad.
Yes.
What I say to my wife when I'm sitting there with Johanna, I say, hey, listen, forgive the past. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? Just forgive the past, acknowledge the lessons, and move forward to the future with an open mind to the future, not to the past. Johanna is, she's going through hell at the minute. Let's not cover this up. She's going through hell at the minute. She's going through operation after operation after operation, and they're talking about operating again. They're talking about they're trying to take all of the infection out of her wounds in her leg, which they are getting it, and then it comes back, and then they're getting it again, and it's come back, and she's being doused with a drip that's fighting the infection. But she's a habit of going, oh, you remember they said that? You remember he did this? You remember she did that? It's got no relevance to right now. No. Okay. What happened literally yesterday, day before, possibly, weeks before, months before, years before? No, they only become relevant if you make them relevant. Okay. So forgive the past. You don't go, do you know what? I'm not going to hold on to that anymore. See, when I hold on to that, it brings me down. So,
I've got a thing about counsellors and this generation that we live in with therapy. Everybody has to have therapy because they've been through something that's traumatic. No, I've got no qualms that someone goes through a traumatic experience and they need to talk it through. But when you book a professional, they're making money out of you every week to keep you in the same place. Every week you go in there and they say, oh, why are you here? What do you feel about this? What do you feel about that? What was the trauma that brought you here? Why do you react to this? And they keep you in that trauma. They don't move you on from it.
Right. Okay. Let me countermand that, because Johanna is seeing one, and that's not what's happening. She's moving forward through it quite well, because the trauma that she's gone through in having cancer that affected her brain, shoulder, breasts, or chest and thigh. She needed to sit down with somebody other than me. And I'm super motivated, as you know that.
I can totally understand why you have to sit down and talk to somebody unbiased and it's not in your family and it's separate from the situation. But when it comes to like, and with Johanna's situation, with the situation that I went through, and I went through 2 years of counselling as well, you do need that separate person to talk to. However, when someone's got a stressful job and all they want to go into, and they talk to the therapist about stressful situations that's annoyed them that week, all you're doing is just a bubble of negativity that keeps reoccurring all the time, and it's just a rollover. And that tumbleweed, if someone wants to do that to get some attention every week, it's not really a positive outlook on life, is it?
Well, you should. I mean, I'm not qualified in that field to ever give advice in that field. I'm qualified in personal motivation, and I'm qualified in how to do personal development. But in the realms of mental health, I'm way down the bottom of the tree. However, in the realms of what I've taught and what I've used and what I've worked over many years, the proof is in the pudding, and the proof is proving to be right and working. So what I was saying to Johanna, which I'd say to everybody, is there's another reason why I kind of wanted to bring this show on board was, believe it or not, we are in probably the most spiritually charged time of the year, not Halloween. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, Halloween is the where the veil becomes the thinnest, and that's All Hallows Eve or All Souls Night. That is actually in November, not on the 30th of October, so it's a week before, or sorry, it's a week afterwards. But that's not actually when we are the most charged energy-wise in our year. The most charged energy-wise in our year right now. December is the most charged because everybody starts thinking of Christmas. Everybody starts for a change thinking about each other. Everybody's thinking about how they're going to bring a smile to that person's face on Christmas morning and what they're going to do to actually have a fantastic Christmas. Everybody is charged in that general direction. So no matter which country you go to, you know, there's people that will be celebrating Christmas, and they will all be going towards the 25th of this 24th, 25th of December. So if your household is charged, and it is charged, don't think any different, it's charged. I mean, you look at Dawn, everybody's looking at Dawn's going, oh, and that little tree behind her, not lovely. So that's an immediate energy. I mean, Dawn had to go and put that together. So the energy she's putting into that tree is thought, love, and affection. And that gives off energy. So we are charged. Put that energy to good use, right? You are charged with huge amount of positive particles floating around the air. Let go of the past. Just decide, you know what? Do you know what? I'm not going to bother with that anymore. I'm going to let all that go. And I say, forgive the past and select the future. Okay, so forgive the past. Anything that happened to me in the past, people who went out of their way to bring me down, people who lied and cheated and thieved from me and all that kind of stuff. You know what? I'm letting that go because you know what? The thing that's going to take care of all that is karma. Karma will care about that. So I'm going to care about the here and now and move forward.
No, because you already won. They tried to take you down and they didn't. So you've already won. All those things, those negative things that get thrown at us all the time, if you live to tell the tale and you've learned a lesson from it, you've won.
Well, you've won anyway, but
no matter how many times people lie, people cheat, as long as you're aware of it and you see it for what it is, they leave them do what they do. They're only showing themselves up for what they are now.
Well, you know, a lot of people will they'll go out of their way. If you are successful, oddly enough, in this country for some unknown reason, if you are successful, I mean, I remember having this conversation with Derek. If you are successful for some reason, this country wants to bring you down. They go out of their way to bring you down. Okay. And he said, Paul, I'll never forget the words. He said, Paul, you're the fastest growing psychic in the UK, but trust me, the faster you go up that ladder, the bigger the target on your back. And he said, Paul, you'll find it difficult. You'll learn how to deal with it, but you'll find it difficult at the beginning. And he was right. I've had, I can't think how many death threats. People sending me messages going, you're going to be taken out. And these people are going who threatening me with death because they're Christian. And I usually respond with, okay, well, I'm going to be going somewhere very, very good. So you're not going to bother me by, you know, how you're going to take me out. And secondly of all, when you turn to go upstairs, when it's your turn, you've just killed a human being. Where do you think you're going to be going? Have a think about it. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Love and light. All the best. Next. I've had people accuse me of the most vilest of things just to pull me down, you know, and for a while they did. For a while they did. I mean, a lot of people have said to me, oh my God, Paul, I haven't heard from you for ages. It's because I did take a big step back. And, you know, and we'd thought about, I've told you before, Dawn, I'd thought about walking away from the whole lot. Had enough. But for some reason, even though I've drawn a line under it, how many weeks ago, Dawn? A month ago now, that I'd drawn under this particular problem, it keeps coming back. So I said to Dawn this afternoon, right, you know what? Time to do a show because I'm not going to not answer people's questions who are personally messaging me and saying, Paul, look, I'm really worried. Is this all real? Is this all true? The person, I'm going to say it right now, this person who's delving out this information has not got the foggiest clue about what he's talking about. Okay, not a remote idea of what he's talking about. I mean, for example, so I'm standing there throwing salt into a corner. Jesus. That's enough to just go, you out of your trolley. And as I said, I'll let you talk about the curtains bit because I just can't keep my face straight when I hear that one. I just want to answer a question here, if that's okay. First of all, Kaz says, true, I have more years behind me, so what's the point in looking back? That's a really good outlook. It's hard, but you have to move forward. Actually, do you know what, Denise? It's only hard if you don't want to let go of the past. So if you decide, do you know what? I'm a really good person. I'm a good person. Why do I deserve? You don't deserve negativity. So just let it go. Let it go. The energy that you're expelling in negativity is energy you could be imported to go forward in your own positive venture, in your own exciting future. And this also, this idiot said that he can actually tell the future. No, he can't. No one can.
No, you can't tell. Nobody can tell the future. Sorry.
It's absolutely. See, everybody, including, well, you didn't expect me to say that tonight, did you? What I just said. You didn't expect me to say that.
Because there's free will. How can you go?
Exactly. You've got free will.
Choice.
Nobody in this planet can tell your future. That's not true. You can't tell the future. You can have an idea of where you might be going, but because you have, what Dawn very rightly said, you have free will. That free will take you there, or it'll take you there, because you have a choice. You'll get to that point. You'll go, well, left really me. I think left's better for me. I want to go left. So you have free will. I just want to quickly answer these questions before you jump in with the.
Go for Denise's question. I want to
Why
hear
do we celebrate Christmas? Actually, Jesus was born, and what I heard it is, I'm not exactly being now brought up in a very, very Catholic background. My understanding was it was earlier than August. It was around July, sometime, or May or July, or maybe it's around Easter. I can't remember, to be absolutely honest with you. But the reason we celebrate Christmas in December is actually been adapted from the pagan world. Okay, the pagan and the Wiccan world, and we've even adopted the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree was a pagan symbol.
So the pagan rituals, the Romans couldn't control the pagan rituals, so they had to invent something that they could get everybody under one religion. So the birth of Jesus was actually, well, what we celebrate is the 25th of December.
So I'm not laughing. You're just laughing at Jackie Marsh's post. I'm going to read it in a minute. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'll read it in a sec. Yeah. So it was actually Nimrod, which was a Roman god, and they kind of like flipped it to say, right, you're not celebrating your pagan rituals anymore. You're celebrating Nimrod now. And the Christmas tree was said to represent, obviously, the Nimrod, and the tinsel is supposed to be the snake, and then the star at the top is the pagan.
And we've adopted it from the star at the top being the Star of Bethlehem, and the tinsel being snow, and the tree being a lovely item to have in your house.
There's a counter to everything. It's all about, so there's lots and lots of things that you'll read nowadays, like Santa Claus is actually an anagram of Satan, and he was actually
There's actually a new comedy film like that.
But do you know what?
Starring Jack Black. Have you seen it?
Which one's the Jack Black one?
It's just come out. It's only just come out. I watched it the other day. I laughed my head off. It's about a dyslexic boy who writes to Satan, asking for what he wants. He's dyslexic. And of course, Satan turns up in his house, and it's Jack Black. You know,
right?
It's trust you, it's funny. The other funny thing about it is Santa Claus was never, ever, ever, ever in red. He was never red. He was green.
Coca-Cola made him red.
Coca-Cola made him red.
Yeah,
Jacqueline Marsh has just written, is this the same person who shares doom and gloom in his predictions? Yes, the same person that I jokingly nicknamed Captain Doom. Gary, it's not, hello, Carrie, it's not Gary. Hi, Carrie, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Barry Hendricks is going, tell me the lotto numbers then. Exactly, Barry. Exactly, pal. I tell you, trust me, if I could read the future like they're saying, and he's indicating lottery numbers, please see you later.
There's got like
I'm going to
universal laws in
actually
there. There's
no, no. This is the. May I be struck with lightning now if I'm
you had
lying
an
to you.
epiphany.
No. I was in right. I was in the hospital room where my mother was days away from passing. She was days away from passing. She was very, very. I mean, they were just controlling her pain. They couldn't do anything more for her. So, and I'm sitting like this here, and there's a big TV up in the corner up there. My mum's to my right hand side. She's on the bed here, and my brother's at the far side. And mum's asleep, but she's facing me. Oh no, tell a lie. Sorry. Her back was to me. She was facing the window, facing Peter. And we were both just sitting watching the TV like this. And she had one of these big giant, looks like a syringe, and was pumping drugs straight into her tummy to keep her,
Driver.
So the door cracked open into her room. She had a private room. And I looked over, and it was my auntie Kathleen and my uncle Joseph. And they opened the door and they went, "Hey." I went, "Oh, yeah, come on. She's asleep. Come on in." So they opened the door gently. My mom was out cold, right? She lifted her head up. She turned around like this, and she said to my aunt, my favorite sister-in-law, "I helped you win the lottery on Wednesday night." And she went back to sleep again. And Peter looked at me, and I looked at Peter. And we both looked at my aunt and uncle. And my uncle looked at my aunt and went, "I have told nobody. I didn't tell anybody. I have told nobody." And we were like, Mom, wake up. And that's the truth. May I be struck down for telling lies. That actually happened. She woke up. Now, bearing in mind, that Wednesday, she was in this bed. She didn't go and say, "Oh, but pick that number, pick this number." She must have been out of her body, affected them. They chose the numbers and they won. I don't think they won multiples of millions, but they won money on the lottery. And she said, "I helped you win the lottery on Wednesday night." And she was in that bed. She was been under that medication for a month. So, and that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen of the planet. That's the God's honest truth. That happened. So
I think when that in between, you can just whip off out of your body, and
I've tried.
People are so unaware nowadays. What do you mean you've tried in
I've tried to
meditation?
go out and try and get the lottery. I've even said to I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I've even said to my guys, "Come on, guys, if you give me the lottery numbers, I can build a spiritual church. We can do this and we can do that and do the other." And they went, "We can't do that." That's what they said.
Yeah.
Not that they can't do it, but they can't do it for personal gain. So that actually happened, and that's the God's truth. So this time of the year is buzzing with energy. Like, ladies and gentlemen, work that energy for your benefit. Okay, let it envelop you. Let it be like the most amazing throw you have around your shoulders and envelop you and take you out of 2024 into 2025 with an amazing perspective. I'm going to shut up for a second because I just want to listen. I want to listen to. I can't even get it out. I want to listen to the curtain story. Oh my good Lord!
My thing that I was been trying to say is, as much as we have free will, stop it. We have free will. Our higher self and our angels and everything, they cannot tell us things that we don't know. They can't put information, like they can give you, like people that have passed over, they can give you messages as confirmation and proof to pass on to loved ones. But when it comes to our higher self and our life path, they can't interfere. That's universal law. They cannot interfere on our path.
The kind of it is, well, no, they do interfere on a regular basis. They can put things in our path, but whether we take that up or not is another matter.
Yeah,
that's free will.
They give us opportunities to make the right choices every day, but it's our free will.
On that note, I have had one instance where I was, and it was at Playing Place. You know where Playing Place is? you remember the spiritual church there?
Yeah.
Used to be, and I walked in to do the service on a Sunday night, and this lady get up of the back row, walked all the way up the aisle, and hugged me. And I went, "Hello," and she said, thank you so very, very much." And I'm like, "For what? I haven't started the service yet." And she said, "You told me in a reading a little while back to tell my son not to go in the car." And I'm thinking, I have absolutely no recollection of that of any kind, because when I'm doing reads, I'm not allowed to keep the information. And I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, and I told him I made him not go in the car. And she goes, "And the car was in a crash that night, and where he would have been sitting was all pushed in." So hey, I'm not after any adoration for that. I'm not. It wasn't me. I just happened to deliver the information. Okay, that responded in a very positive outlook. So I'm not after any adoration. Don't be going, "Oh my God, Paul, you're brilliant." No. That was an affection of their energy coming through clear, me delivering it to the right person, and the person acting on it. Okay, but that is kind of what's that old saying, Dawn? There's always exceptions to the rule.
There's always someone that's going to break the rule. I'm always breaking the rules. And there's always somebody that will break. I hope they break the mold after me, because, oh my Lord.
you designed the breaking of the rules.
Yes, that's what rules are made for. Breaking. Anyway, the curtains.
Yeah, go on. Just before you do it, Barry has said, "I can tell the future. I'm not going to win the lottery this week because I don't buy the tickets." So
Exactly. I don't buy the tickets either, because I think it's a fix.
I used to at the beginning. I don't know.
I used to at the beginning, because that's what everybody did. They had everybody going out like drones. We're all lined up like lemmings outside the shop. "Oh, we're going to be millionaires." No, you're not.
Well, then tell the curtain story. I'm going to put a glass on my mouth with water so that if I speak, it'll drown me. Go ahead, carry on.
Well, if you think that shutting the curtains and snuggling down in your lounge or your bedroom is going to keep demons nice and safe and locked up and trapped in your house, then I'm really, really sorry to disappoint you, but that's not how it happens. That's not what works. The people that like to sit in their houses all day with their curtains shut, watching horror films, watching miserable chat shows, soap operas, doom and gloom, then those sort of people sit in that energy all day long, quite happily and comfortable.
And happy. That's
Opening
the
the
key
curtain
word.
is not going to get rid of any of that. But it's the type of person that wants that negative existence of not learning anything, just literally existing. They shut their curtains all the time. They're depressed. They like being in that. Well, not saying, no, I'm saying it wrong. Depressed people don't like being in that state, but they're taken over by. I'm saying at the moment that the earth is not meant for humanity, for humans, because it sucks the very soul out of you. If you want to be successful, if you want to have loads of money and this, that and the other, you have to play by their rules and their agenda. You cannot. Demons aren't pets. They're not pets that you can open and close the curtains like a little hamster, or wake up at night and then be asleep during the day. That's not how it works.
Well, and let's you remove the word demon for a start.
Negative.
Any energy, negative, benign, happy, sad, whatever, no matter. They don't need curtains. Okay, whether the curtains are open or closed doesn't make a difference. Whether it's day or night doesn't make a difference. In fact, we proved that you can be as effective as a paranormal investigator during the day as you are at night. Okay, the only reason that it seems to be more susceptible at night is because we're more heightened with our senses at night than we are during the day. As
and the
Lynn
grid is
said,
on.
make sure that you ask everyone for Christmas donations. Okay.
No.
No. So the darkness will come in
Your
and take you,
perspective.
and it'll envelop you, and it will take. Well, the one was that makes me laugh is it'll take your soul. There's
Your
nothing.
soul is
There's
not for
nothing
anybody's taking.
in this universe capable of taking your soul except one. Except one, and that
Your,
happens to be on the good
your,
side.
your soul is part of a whole, and nobody has a right to take that apart from the source that created it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody can take it
End of
apart from
story.
the source that created it. So
So but this
you
is
can
what I'm
sell
talking about.
yourself out and do things that creator source didn't, it's not your purpose. So you can do demonic, satanic rituals, this, that, and the other. You can live an evil life. But that still doesn't, at the end of the day, that spark that's inside you has to go back to its creator.
This is what I mean. The reason that I agreed and decided we're going to do today is because that is so dangerous. That information he is giving out to people, that it is not even remotely close to wrong. The word wrong doesn't even cover it. It's so bad that it's even past laughable. Okay, it's into an area where it's now messing with people's lives, especially this time of the year as well, I might add. One thing that I wanted us to say was is like, this person will tell you, like, we call him Dr. Doom or Captain Doom. Here's the thing, here's how this works. If I say to Dawn, right, listen, Dawn, I need you to be careful because I'm seeing a broken elbow with you, okay? I keep seeing that the elbow is shattered, it's broken, and it's your right elbow. Okay, you listen. It's there. I'm happening. I'm seeing it. It's in real
Please
time.
stop. You're not seeing it. Please stop.
No, the point of the matter is that what I'm trying to teach our listeners. What I'm trying to teach our listeners is, if I convince you that this is going to happen, if I tell you and you believe every word I say, if you're, because Dawn is kind of like, she will go, no, that's not right, bollocks. Here's what, and I go, no, that's right. You're talking about your arse, Dawn, and we will play like that. However, I'm using Dawn just as a point of reference here. If I convince Dawn that she's going to, if she believes every word that I say is absolute, she will shatter her elbow because I've said it, and she will subconsciously put herself into a place where this is going to happen. Then she'll come back to me and she'll go, oh my God, you were so right. I've shattered my elbow. How did you do that? You'll never guess. I was walking down the stairs and I slipped. You slipped. Yeah, I never slipped in that place before. Subconsciously, you're in a place where you've said, this is where I could break my elbow. And you will be put in that place. So Captain Doom, he'll hit on something 1 in every 50 to 100, only because the law of averages allow that. It's easier for you to win the lottery than to get that prediction correct.
But I think it's a matter, it's like I was saying earlier about perspective. So I don't really think we have a crossover of viewers anymore. I don't think a lot of people that watch us don't watch him anymore. So it's kind of like there's different levels of what you want to watch, I suppose. The people that watch us, they want to have a laugh and a joke, hit on some truths, hit on some like out there theories. And people that watch that sort of thing, they want to hear that they're going to be poorly. They want to hear him call their name out saying, this is coming for you. We're going to have a disaster.
Well, what's going to happen is that particular person lives in a part of the world that lives to sue you. That's their pastime, sue everybody. And he is most likely lined up on at least a half a dozen lawsuits already. Barry says to me, Paul, weird question. First of all, mate, I read your question, and that is no more weird than I am. When you reach across, when I do reach across, do you see the spirits like Ghost Whisperer, or is it a feeling and hearing and moaning? Well, it's a combination of all of that, Barry. On occasions I've seen them. 99% of it, actually that's be a bit much. 95% of the time, it's a thought. I've just learned how to separate my own conscious from that conscious and allow that thought to come straight into thought, into the words, because sometimes I'm hearing the read as I'm saying it. So I'm saying it, and then I'm going, does it make sense to you? You know, a great proportion of the time I'll use symbolisms. Now I call it psychic shorthand, because it's easier for the energy that's coming through to me to use a symbol that I will get like that, rather than them try and say, oh, listen, my birthday is based upon this particular part of the year, which has got a very big military holiday connected to it, and here's the country that it's connected to. Instead, they'll just show me a flag. I go, right, okay, this birthday or anniversary is connected to a very important date in the year. Do you understand that? So the symbolism makes it it's called psychic shorthand. I have a lot of different symbols for different reasons. For an example, one of the symbols that I get is a rose, but the rose comes in multiples of different colors. For example, red. Obviously, red means passion, it means love. If I see roses, I will literally see loads of roses just falling out of the sky like that. Literally see that. I'll look up and I'll go, the roses are falling. That means that they want me to pass down their love, tell them that we're sending all of our love to them and the rest of the family. That's what all them roses means. If I see a white rose, I'll see a singular rose and it'll be white. That rose to me means love, because the rose comes, irrespective of the color, comes from a place of love. But the white rose means to me, it's a symbol for me to say, I'm sorry, I am sorry. And usually they'll back it up with another symbol, which will tell me what they're sorry for. But I will also say, hey, listen, if I give you a rose and I give you the color, and that rose and that color means something to you, then you're right. I will still give you what it means to me. But if you say, no, I had that particular rose and I put it on his or her coffin, then you're right. Then they're acknowledging that. But if they use one of my symbols because they want to particularly pick it up, then that's why. If I see a yellow rose, for example, that will mean that they want me to talk about health. And what will happen is, so the rose is like that shape, that the rose will come up and the tip of the petal will hover around there or here or further down the body, and that means they're telling me to talk about a problem or situation that's connected to this area of the body. Do you understand that? Boom. So there's multiples of symbols that they'll use, Barry, and that will help them get their information to me quicker. Hearing them, yes, I will actually audibly hear them. I can hear, hi, it's John, say hi to Denise. Okay, Denise, I've got somebody here by the name of John. They're telling me to say hi. You understand that? Or, which I hear a lot of the time, is they don't have vocal cords and they don't have a mouth. So they have to affect the air around my ear that goes, say it again. I got somebody here for Denise with a John or a J or G sounding name. Do you understand that? And that's how I get it. So audibly, it's like that. So what I hear, I'll also see them, but it's taking all of the senses, not just, for a brilliant question, by the way, Barry. It's taking all of the senses and using all of the senses, including the sixth sense, okay, which is all of the clairs. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, blah, blah, blah.
What I get, and it's not quite as advanced as what you, because obviously you've been doing it for bloody years, but I get movie clips. So if I get
I'll get that, and songs.
Or song lyrics. Yeah, I'll get song lyrics. I went to Glastonbury tour, and what was the one that I had going? Oh, it was Land of Hope and Glory going through my head. And I was like, oh my God, what's this about? And it won't stop until you click it, until you get what that message is for you. Oh my God. But I get movie clips.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to go back and watch the movie because it means something different to me now. And it'll give me a different lesson, a different message.
I get a lot of stuff out of movies and songs. One of the things that I wanted to share as well, which this is for any mediums and psychics out there. If you want to adopt any of this that I do, you're more than welcome. Please feel free. For example,
because at the moment we've got the control and the power in this where we are on our timeline at the moment is really low vibe and energy. So the more people that are staying up, and as much as Christmas is full of joy and peace, and they're going to try absolutely everything to try and destroy it for us. So as much as some people say, I watch the news religiously, there's nothing on the news that's true. It is there to scare you and make you believe what they want you to believe. Nothing more, nothing less. They're high-paid actors.
I love her skepticism. It does make me, or not even say skepticism. It really leans into cynicism. But anyway,
it's not cynicism because it's positive. I don't acknowledge anything negative anymore. So I had an issue with the person that you're talking about, like months and months back. You know that the issue that I had with him, and that was probably about 18 months ago. So what I do is I go delete. I don't watch you anymore. You don't get my attention. There's no focus from me. You aren't in my reality anymore. So you're not a problem. You're not a problem.
That's probably a good way to cut them out of your life. You don't need them.
Yeah.
But what I was going to share with all those, Pinky. Hi, Pinky. Welcome to the show. Oh my gosh. Hi, Pinky. There's a lovely name from the past. Very good friend of Johanna's as well. I don't know if you're aware or not, Pinky, but Johanna's not very well at the moment. But really love to see you. So one of the ways that when I'm dealing with somebody in front of me, a sitter, or I'm dealing with somebody in a show, is that I will get a member of my family appear. Okay, that member, say for example, it could be my dad or my mom. Now, the reason that member will come in is they want me to show me the level of the hierarchy, in other words, parent, or they want me to say there's a Patrick, there's a P connection or an M connection for Maureen, or they'll show me my grandfather and they want me to go up to grandparent level. So, and then what they do is they divide the line like that and across like that. So I'm looking at a line. If they pull me left of that line, they want me to talk about mom's side of the family. They pull me right, dad's side of the family. If they drop me below the line, it has to be children, nephews, nieces. So you are 0.0 to me. So above you, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. To the side would be contemporary, husband, brother, sister, cousin, friend. Below you, children, nephews, nieces, grandchildren, so on and so forth. So that's another way that I discovered that one with my guide, Sean. She said, we do this. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So now when an energy comes into me, they'll either peel me off to the right or peel me up to the left. You'll hear me say on a regular basis, they show me a pink line. Okay, I'll just literally see a pink line like that. And I see that visually. Nobody else can see it, but I can see it. And that means to be maternal connection. Okay, pink line, mother, grandmother. But yeah.
I get sentience. So do you have all the Claires, or do you just have the psychic?
All of them.
So when I go to a historical place, like if we go down to Boulder's playground, I'll start rabbiting on about stuff that, like, I have no business knowing about whatsoever. So I start literally, my cousin went down there and I started rabbiting on to her about a previous life that I'd had down there, and I was literally seeing everything in front of me playing out. It was a really busy life that was happening there, and I could see it all.
Imagine you having anything other but a busy life.
Well,
speaking of which, I've got us a guest coming on the show, and it'll probably be after Christmas now, who is a past life regression specialist.
I've had 3 or 4 regressions, so this will be fascinating.
I cannot wait. I just wanted to acknowledge my darling friend Pinky here. Pinky sadly lost her grandmother this morning. Sorry, my angel. Sending you and your family all our love and condolences at this time. There's no words that I'm going to be able to give you that would possibly make things any easier, other than your beautiful grandmother will absolutely, totally, and honestly be around you guys now. That's I didn't come on here to do reads tonight. That's what Moments is about. But I am saying she's met up with him. She's met up with him. So either granddad or a gentleman to her side has met up with her. Okay. And I don't know whether there's an A name here, Pinky, like Alice, Allison, Alicia. There's a strong A name they want me to acknowledge. And either we've just passed a birthday or an anniversary connected to your grandmother who's just crossed. Okay, because they're telling me to go, they're showing me my symbol, which happens to be a lily, which means birthday anniversary. And they're telling me just to go backwards a bit. So we've just come past the birthday and anniversary. Now, I don't know if her husband was connected to the military, seeing the flags. So there's a military connection here that they want me to acknowledge. And they're showing me an Eastern connection. So either your grandfather was connected to Vietnam or connected to Japan or something like that. There's an action. There's definitely an A connection here, Michelle, but that A could be somebody here. Don't automatically assume that person's crossed. When I hear a name, it means who they are, who's with them. Please say hi to here. If it is your grandmother and it's kind of like it's fading, it's kind of phasing for me. But she's saying wear the bangle, wear the bracelet, wear whatever this is on the wrist to wear it. She's telling me to tell you that this month will open up for you. This month will open up for you, okay? There are doors already starting to open, and this month will open up for you. Life is going to get better for you. It doesn't seem like it right now. That's stupid for me to try and cram that into you. It doesn't seem like it now, but it is. The doors are opening up, because when you get into mid-January, you'll realize what I've said, because the doors are opening up to make your life as it was much easier. I don't know if it's Ali or Alan or Alistair. There's just like an AL name that they want me to acknowledge. And by the way, I wasn't open. My guides have just pulled me forward and just stepped in to try and help Pinky out. Now, so they're showing me a diamond ring here, but a diamond happens to be one of my symbols. A diamond means significant date. Okay, so what it means to me, and the diamond ring might be something for you, Pinky, but to me it means this: significant date. So that's 18th, 21st, 25th, 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th, 70th. Significant date, not like 19th or 23rd or 31st. It has to be significant date. That's what a diamond means to me. But she's holding a ring like that to me. She's telling me to tell you that her age now is mid sort of 38 to 45 age. That's what she's telling me was her best time. Okay, so that's how she is now. She's pointing at her shoes, which means to me she's got her dancing shoes on again. I'm seeing her dancing. So I don't know whether she did some like very specific type of dancing, but she's dancing. Or they are dancing, I should say. I'm not understanding this music that's going on in the background, though. It's very unique. Oh, she was 91? Wow, good girl. Pinky, it's really important, my darling. As I say, Dawn will tell you, I didn't come on here to do any reads tonight. I came on here to answer a lot of people's fears about a certain idiot that's given out really, really bad information. However, Sean has pulled this person forward, pulled him in and said, do this. I never say no to Sean. Sean is actually, would you believe this, worse than Dawn. So but it's really important that you get this, Pinky, that they are together. See them together. There's a picture of them dancing, and that's what they're trying to tell me. They're dancing, okay? Hopefully that helps you, darling. But your life is going to improve dramatically through December right into January. It's good. I know today of all days, it's not going to seem that way, but she's not going to let you fall, and doors are already starting to open. Okay, you're going to be surprised that people are going to go, oh, by the way, this has happened. Did you know about that? No, did nothing about that. Well, it's yours. That kind of thing. Alrighty. Did she know? Did she know she went on her granddaughter's said significant date? Didn't I? So, as a granddaughter's birthday, she will know that. She will know that, my love. Worse than Dawn, never. Says Barry.
I'm glad I got ready already.
Hopefully it helps you, my love. Just close your eyes and see the pair of them dancing, because I promise you, in the energy that they're surrounding me with, there is no sadness at all. But I'm hearing some really unique music.
Is it like a tea dance?
No, I don't know what it is.
You know that 1950s tea dances?
I wouldn't know what a 1950s tea dance is.
Oh, it's like jazz, and you know they used to do the jazz and the ballroom dancing and that sort of thing.
I could be, I don't know, but it's not music I would listen to on a regular basis. But it's unique, and they're both dancing and they're both happy. It's really, really imperative that they're dancing and they're together and they're happy, because she missed him a lot. And now they're not missing each other, and they won't again, ever. So
Michelle says her cousin just said that they used to do the jig.
well, there you go. I don't know what the jig is.
You know, they would do all the jazz. You know, like in Greece, they used to have all the dances and throwing people up in the air and through the legs, the rock and roll dance.
Oh, you mean like the music that you would hear in in war films?
Yeah,
in
when
World
they
War
went
II,
to dances
when
and met all
we're
the
dancing
soldiers.
with people, the men in military. All right, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's.
You know, in the speakeasies.
All that.
That's the one.
Right, I didn't know what that was called. Carol Amirio made it! Yay, Carol! Welcome to the show. By the way, but if you have just come into the show, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, Michelle, Pinky, subscribe to the show. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell icon so you don't miss another one. I can hear it now going on.
But that's the sort of things that I get in my head.
I would have called, see, you called it something. I would have called that boogie woogie.
It's what do they call it? The hibbity hop. Is it the hibbity hop? There's something hop.
I don't know, but Michelle, Pinky, she likes to be called Pinky. Pinky, my darling, honestly, they are happy, and I genuinely mean it. And I'll tell you how I know why they're happy, because as I laid my father to rest, there was a gentleman there to talk, and he was speaking in Irish, and I don't speak Irish. I'm only a few words of Gaelic. But I closed my eyes and I instantaneously went, and I could see my mom and dad dancing together. She had one of them frocks that goes out a bit at the bottom, and my dad had his black suit on, and they were dancing. And
sorry to interrupt.
And I just saw that, so I know they're dancing together.
But Michelle just said, could the A name be April because her granddaughter wasn't able to be there? No, Michelle, was the A name the granddaughter of?
I said there's an A. I said if you listen back to the show, if you rewind it back a bit, you'll hear me saying there's an AL name.
Yeah, but was April the granddaughter whose birthday it was, which is why she
could well be, but that April could be the name. Yeah, AL.
Lynn says Lindy Hop. It was called the Lindy Hop, and Lynn would know. She's the dance teacher.
Right. Yeah. Oh, April Lee, AL.
There you go. Ta-da! See, that's a psychic reading where you go.
Michelle, do me a favor, bring your cousin in and let your cousin type. I just need to say, let your cousin use your connection and type in I am, whatever her name is. I need to speak to that person right now. Dawn's hiding. Look, she's hiding.
Oh,
she's back. She just cracked her dog's skull off the desk.
That was his head on the bottom of the desk. He's all right though. Tell the tale. Look.
I can't bring my boys in because my boys will literally knock me clean off the seat. They will.
Yes.
They're that big. I think I might bring Shadow with me the next time we go out. Because Shadow, I can manage Shadow.
Well,
Shadow will
last
come
time-
back and sit and stand and do everything I tell him to do. But Storm won't. Storm goes, oh, this. All right, here we go. You're the firstborn granddaughter. Gotcha. And your name is Candace. Candace, welcome to the show. If you've got any questions, Candace, I'm more than happy to answer you. But I do know your grandmother and your grandfather. I'm going to say told me to bring you in here. I don't know whether, Candace, you have somebody connected to you, be it husband, son, daughter, I don't know, that is carrying the name of somebody in spirit, okay? Because they're telling me to talk about a parallel. Now, a parallel can be a name, date, place, and time, okay? But as they told me to bring you in, the first thing I see is a parallel. So usually if a grandchild was named after a parent or a great grandparent, they're acknowledging that, okay? Hi, Julia. Thank you for coming in to the show. While that's going through for Candace, I don't know whether it's yourself or somebody directly connected to you, but there's a new position or a new business opportunity opening up around you, and I'm getting green lights. Go for it, because it's bringing more passion back into your lives. There's more love and more passion and more happiness coming back in. It's important to go for it. They keep tapping the watch, okay? Now, when I see a tap on the watch, and you notice I've got my eyes closed, it means they're telling me that means two things. Either you're wearing their watch and they want me to acknowledge their watch, or they're telling me to say, hey, it was just my time. Just know that it was just my time. Don't have any other thoughts, okay? Candace, I'm supposed to say, let go. Let go of the negative thinking, let go of the past, let go of any things like you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, anything of that nature. Just let it go. They're not interested in it. They want you to know that they're very much connected to you guys. They're very much around you. They love you guys very much, and they're going to do their level best to make sure that everything goes well through December and into 2025. And on Candace's side, there's a J or G name, like I was talking about earlier, oddly enough. There's Joseph, John, Joe, George name they want me to acknowledge. And they're telling me to talk about either June as being significant or the 6th of a month is significant, okay? But in relation to yourself, Candace, you're being pulled back into another area of your life, which is kind of like a pathway you should have, or you started and didn't complete. There's something along those lines, but there's new education coming in that's going to help you. So you're going to either learn a new skill, a new business acumen, or something that's going to come and make your life through 25 excellent. All right. Hopefully that helps. Julia Sharp. I can't believe Julia Sharp is on Facebook. She's on Facebook. Don't tell her off.
Oh, dearie.
Nicole J, welcome. So we were on here to put a lot of people right about so much wrong information. And lo and behold, what happens? I'm reading people.
You can't help it.
Oh, I didn't want to read people. I didn't come in preordained to read anybody.
But do you not think that sometimes it's put in your path, those people are put in your path at a certain time just so they get the reading?
Listen, it's important for Michelle and her cousin to know that Michelle and Candace to know that this show wasn't planned. We didn't say we're going to come and do a show tonight. This was, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in any way in coincidence. I beg your pardon. Michelle and Candace had to be here at this time for that to happen, because I wasn't coming to do any reads tonight. Right, there you go. Candace's husband's father passed away, and his name was Gabe. So, like I said, I get a strong guttural sound which is either a J or a G, just to let you guys know.
It should be tears of happiness as well, because it's
Yeah.
proof that they haven't gone anywhere. They live right in our hearts. Every
Tears
happy.
are tears are good. I don't see tears as bad.
I always think tears are salty because they're cleansing.
Yeah, we used to when there are tears of release. When I was training as a medium, this sounds bad. I know I'm going to share this story. I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. It sounds bad, but when I was training, we used to come back every week and go, I had 2 criers this week. Oh, I only had 1 crier. I had 2 this week. And the following week, none. The following week, 4 criers this week. And it wasn't because we were wanting to make people cry. It was because we broke through. We managed to break that barrier down, get that release. And the crying is a release, and you're heading towards healing. And that's what that means. So Candace, cry your eyes out, sweetheart. They know how much they miss you, and you miss them. So trust me, we know.
And every single tear is a tear of how much you love them. Because if you didn't cry, then they're not worth. You didn't love them.
Yeah. I have missed you all so much, says Pinky. Pinky, you're never out of our thoughts. Johanna talks about you on a regular basis, and you will always be welcome on this show. I have 3 shows a week now. I was going to ask, do you think this is a good night to do this show?
Yeah, the cold moon. I've just seen Julie's put that. I saw that earlier, and I was watching it through my skylights earlier. Yeah.
Because I think I will continue to do moments on a Sunday night, but I might move R22 across to Tuesday night. What do you think?
I quite enjoyed it on the Tuesday.
Yeah, I think so.
Monday's Stu and Dom.
But Monday's one of those days, and sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. It's a unique day. But the reason I did it on Monday is because I did Reach Cross on Thursday. But if we're going to do Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, that's a day in between. So
we can party on Friday and Saturday night.
And we can party Friday, Saturday, and Friday and Saturday night. and try and get our minds into some sort of shape for Sunday. Now, that being said, as we go into Christmas week, we're all going to shut down because it's family. That's Christmas week is family time. That's including my family, Dawn's family. And Christmas week should be. So I'll be shutting all of the shows down for that. Probably do 2 or 3 pop-ups.
Talking about Christmas, do you see what Jason's done behind me?
What?
There's Alf on a shelf. Right, you can't see him. Alf on a shelf is riding a tortoise.
I do love your husband. He's a rock star.
I was like, no. Yeah, Alf on a shelf is riding a tortoise. Just a minute.
Oh my God! Check that out. Hey, Dawn, I want you dressed like that for the next show next week.
Don't even tempt me. I've been up to the pub in my Christmas onesie before. Christmas hat, Christmas slippers. I had a picture taken of myself on the roundabout.
Right? I'm going to have to. We're supposed to be completing on Tuesday.
Oh.
Well, Johanna most likely still be in hospital.
Yeah, well, she needs more time to mend. Hopefully, when she comes home, she'll come home to a nice, fresh house.
Well, the thing about it is, she doesn't necessarily need to be there to complete, No. But Judy Sharp says, "Gratitude, thanks always, Paul. I never have any I've never had any guidance my whole life till I come up to across Paul Francis Safeway." Oh wow, thank you, Julie. That's a very kind thing to say. I really appreciate that.
Julie is being lovely. This color red suits me. It's my Christmas jumper. When I start getting into December and past the birthday, I can start wearing red. Otherwise, I never normally wear red.
No, you don't? No. You're normally in like jeans and a jumper and a t-shirt, or jeans and a...
I'm always jeans, boots, and my jacket.
Yeah. That being said, we're going to have to get a wee kind of staff Christmassy lunch or something sorted.
Yes.
For our little business.
Definitely.
Right. So quickly jumping back onto reasoning about tonight's show is no. the information about keeping the windows closed that will keep in negative energy is absolute total crap. Shouting and screaming at any energy, no matter whether it's negative, benevolent, or whatever, in your house will not get rid of it in any way, shape, or form, especially if it's not a good energy. Shouting and screaming at it is only feeding it, and you're doing not. Throwing salt into a corner will not ever break down negative energy. If you're going to read my book, sir, and quote from it, get it right. And you cannot clear a room or a house with incense alone. Nope, sorry. And listen, if said person comes to you and tells you you're going to have some sort of medical issue, go with your instincts. Go with your gut. Your gut feeling says, I think you're talking out your ass. Then your gut instinct is most likely correct. Okay?
You know,
what else am I being asked? What other questions did I get?
Learning experience for people. So people need to be able to watch that stuff and discern for themselves. We shouldn't have to come on here on a Sunday night.
To be absolutely honest with you, I'm not looking at it as a negative. I'm looking at it as a positive, because I wasn't even planning on creating this show. And now look, we've got a great show with a lovely background. Not the background here, the background going around the frame. And if you see the person, I know that he'll look at that as being a negative, in the fact that it's, I don't know if I can move it out of the way for a second. No, that just brings me forward. Do that.
But that's just the track that some people are on. Some people just are on the negative track, and that's all they want to see, and that's all they want to see.
Ever since that person had a fall, it's just been downhill from that moment forward. But if you look at the person's walking in the light. Hello, where did that come from? Oh, that's my new book coming out in 2025. So, and right along the bottom, it says moments. So I wanted moments 2025 to be completely different to moments 2024, 2023, 23 actually. And I wanted it to be a lot more comprehensive, because what I'll be doing is I will be doing meditations as like in 2023, but they will be on the Patreon channel where you can listen to them over and over and over. Right.
And mindset is something really important to talk about. It's not just meditation, it's being able to have control of your mind and your emotions so that other people aren't triggering you all the time, because that's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. If you stay in a constant negative frame of mind, trust me, not only will you get tired and agitated, and you won't get on with your friends and family, but that agitation and tiredness will manifest physically. Okay, one of the biggest causes of or instigators of cancer is stress. Okay, one of the biggest triggers, and it's you ask any doctors, one of the biggest triggers of cancer is stress. Okay, so learn how to let it go. Let it go.
Does sage get rid of it? Now, white sage helps, I think. Palo Santo and the other, I've got dragon's blood spray that I use. But it's something that has to be kept on top of. So if you're going to use sage, use it every day. And if you think you've got something there, use it a few times a day. Leave it burning 24/7.
Yeah. Sage is one of the most. In fact, sage was actually used by the Native American people. But you can have the biggest bunch of sage in your hand, and if you don't know how to use it properly, it's not going to work.
No.
It has to be with the intent. I just want to say something. Not that I want my ego stroked in any way, shape, or form, but I just want to read out what Pinky wrote. I just read it, and then I've lost it.
Michelle,
here it is. I swear, you blew me away every time I see you, and every time I see you do a reading. Really?
Julie says, gratitude, thanks always, Paul. I never had any guidance my whole life till I came across Paul's Safeway.
Oh, yeah.
I feel really bad. And I'm going to confess. I haven't read your books. Can you tell?
Yeah. Once you read my books, your educational level will rise. That's
really? I think you might explain what I know in a different way.
In fact, what I'll do is I will get my publishers to get me some. All right. I'll get them to send them to me, and I will get you one Dawn, as a
Ooh.
Christmas gift.
And then we can have a nice little chat about it. That would be really good.
There won't be any chats in it. You'll be reading it and you'll learn. End of story. So, actually, I've got.
It's good though.
Let me see. I've got the Safeway. I've got the Little Book of Quick Wisdom. I have the Power Within. There was another book. Little Book of Quick Wisdom, the
You've got
Safeway.
Walking with the Light, haven't you?
The Walking with the Light is coming out next year. How do you find my book? It's on. You can because you're in America. You can get it from Amazon. Amazon. My book is on Amazon, or if you go to my website, you can find a link for it on my website. I'll just type that in. If you learn how to type.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to say as well is with Psychic Medium, that title, everyone has a different perspective of it. So where some people say, like you quite categorically say, you do past and present, you can't do the future. And you can only do the past from what they tell you.
Right. Well, what they do was I don't call it a future read. I've never had called it a future read. I do what's called a heads up. Okay.
Right.
But if they're doing a heads up, they're saying to me, right, and they're giving me an impression or a feeling towards a heads up. They mean that usually means that you're aware of what's coming. Like, for example, if I said to you, I'm getting a heads up feeling, Dawn, and there's a baby involved. Okay.
No,
You might turn around and say, oh my God, my best friend has just found out she's pregnant. That's not a future read, that's a heads up.
Yeah.
But if you guys had been discussing about something that you're going to do in March, July, August next year, and they acknowledge that, that's two things. That's a heads up because we're talking about March, July, August of next year. But it's also a bigger impression is that they were there with you while you were talking about that particular item. That's the way I see it. So if you guys go, oh, we were only just talking about that, that means I go, that means they were standing beside you when they were talking about it.
Oh.
If you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen of the world, please do talk to me. Julie Sharp says, I truly always struggled with my gift intact. I was terrified till I come across Paul. When I was younger, I'd drink to oblivion to do anything for me. I like you, Julie Sharp. You are definitely going to fit into our kind of thinking.
And Julia get on really well. I don't drink anymore, but I used to. Man,
I don't drink anymore either. I don't drink any less, but I don't drink anymore.
I don't drink anymore. I don't like the feeling of being drunk anymore.
Oh, never. I have never enjoyed that feeling, even when I was young.
I used to love it, that oblivion of not being responsible for my own actions. I've had 5 pints now. I don't know what I'm doing.
Like you need alcohol for that. That'll just happen with you anyway.
Yeah. But alcohol didn't make me a very great person. I was always aggressive, argumentative. And I mean, I know I'm argumentative now, but I'm not.
I'm aggressive.
I'm not aggressive. I don't see it as aggressive. I'm passionate, but I don't see it.
That's a way of saying it.
Yeah, I don't see it as aggressive anymore. It's kind of like, no, I have my way of thinking. You have your way of thinking, and that's great.
No, you've left out the bit that you always say. I have my way of thinking. You have your way of thinking, and I'm right.
But I don't think that I'm right because I don't know everything. When I know,
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go back in this. I'm going to take this piece out of the film, and I'm going to play it over and over.
That's the second time I've said Jay. Don't tell Jay, for God's sake. But
no, I'm going to send it to him. I'm going to send it to him as a meme.
But none of us, we're all on a learning journey. None of us know all the information. So just enjoy the ride.
There's an old saying, you don't know what you don't know.
No, exactly. So I'm one of these people that I want to cram in as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I spurt out crazy stuff sometimes, but you can't spit it out unless you've taken it in. And if it makes people think in a different perspective,
I will always listen to you, and I will be thinking, wow, I didn't know that. But I love that's those days are the days that I love the most. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, and there'll be other days when you might say something, and I'll go, right, okay, and I'll look up to these guys up here and go, and sometimes they go, "Oh, eh," or sometimes they go, and I go,
That
okay,
thing,
I'm not telling
they,
her. I'm not
they,
telling her. You can tell her. I'm not telling her.
but they can't interfere with your path. So if you haven't got the information that I've
Oh,
got,
yes, they can. Look at tonight. That's proof that they interfered with my path. Oh,
no,
yes,
but
they
it's not
can.
your
They
mission, is it?
no, and
They,
I did not come on here to do reads of any kind. We come in here to put people right on all the information that had been dealt yesterday, which was total crap. And they went,
put in
"You
your
need to
path
be reading."
to create this situation so that that read happened.
Now,
I
here's
agree
the
with
thing.
that. But when it comes to history and knowledge, if you
Yeah.
haven't got that information in your head, then they can't correct you on it. They have to let you believe what you want to believe until you put something different in there.
I suppose that's correct. Yeah. If you think about that in a logical sense, I'm very see the thing about me and Dawn is Dawn's very, very passionate, and I'm very logical. If it just does not make sense, it just will not link for me. And you know, like I had an argument, and I'm open to learning. I had an argument because I was really, really good at physics at school, and I think Dawn was part of the argument. And she said, "Oh, Paul, water retains memory," and I was like, "No, it doesn't." She goes, "Yes, it does." I went, "No, water is made up of. It's called H2O. Okay, 1 part hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen. It's not even one thing. It's made up of different elements. How the hell can that be?" And she was like, "No, I'm telling you, no, it doesn't. No, it bloody. Hey, listen, you can talk to me this so long as my horse points down. I'm not gonna." And I sat down with 3 or 4 different people, and all went, "Oh yeah, my water hose memory." I'm going, "What, really? Yeah, you have to disassociate the physics." And I was like, "Oh shit, I've got to tell her she's right." And I said, and I went,
Right,
"That's why it's called metaphysical." Oh, oh,
your
oh.
meta means meta in Latin is dead. Is it Latin or Hebrew or something? Meta means dead.
No, meta means beyond.
I'll Google it a minute.
Beyond.
I'll Google it. Bloody Google.
Metaphysical, beyond physical.
Meta.
Don't believe everything you read, except what's in my book.
No, I'm actually I'll go on DuckDuckGo or Brave, not Google.
Julie says, "I love your debates. It's brilliant." There's no there isn't any negativity at all. Yeah, they diverted me from what I was doing into giving Pinky a read, and I'm very, 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 very blessed for that to happen.
Sure, I read someone chat earlier. Someone was saying that meta means dead.
No, it means
not
beyond.
It says the meaning of meta is showing or suggesting an explicit awareness of itself or oneself as a member of its category. That doesn't say what it means, does it?
No, it's because you Google it in the wrong place.
And it says, "Oops, an unexpected error occurred while translating this text." So they don't want you to find out what it is.
I'm looking myself, but it's not coming up.
Yeah. Simply translated, meta, disambiguation. Really?
Simply? Yeah, simply. Simply translated, can what?
Disambiguation.
Yeah.
Transcending or
we
encompassing.
can look up that. Meta means beyond. That's what it means.
It depends on what bloody search bar you look at. Whatever you want it to be.
Michelle says that there's always room to learn. There is always. I love learning. I love discovery. I love being open to new ideas, new ideals. Unfortunately, some other people aren't. Some other people still talk about the crow being a messenger, or being a thing of death, and Jesus, everything was doom and death. Everything you just said one thing. Oh, that's a symbol for death. And I was going to say, is there anything in your background that is a symbol for good and light? Everything was death. The crow is well known in the Native American as the messenger. Okay, and so is the raven. In fact, I got christened in a lovely Native American tribe, and they named me the Raven, which I was like, okay, is that good? So I was thinking, is that bad? And they went, no, no, no. The Raven in our culture means he who walks in both worlds. Oh, I thought, oh, I love that. I like that. So I got christened the Raven. I must show you this beautiful, beautiful golden eagle feather that they sent to me. Oh, stunning.
You showed us before, I think. I saw it.
They'd drawn the raven on it by
Yeah.
hand onto the feather. Oh my God. And that's what I use, by the way, ladies and gentlemen of the world, when I'm breaking down the energies in my house. So I'm using the feather to fan the whether it's white sage or whether it's my favorite incense into the corners to break down the energy. There's more to that ritual than just stomping your feet, shouting, get out, and throwing salt at a wall. And then he said, he was telling people to take a teaspoon of salt and swallow it. And I was saying, no, don't do that. And then he said,
No.
Mix salt with lemon juice. Oh, so now you want to drink caustic acid. Okay, don't do that either.
You see,
Salt will massively affect your blood pressure in a very serious way.
the
Salt will massively affect it.
that you buy, the table salt you buy, I totally agree, because that's poison in a container. However, if you get Celtic salt, natural Celtic salt that's got 82 different minerals in it, that is really, really good for you. And you have like a teaspoon of that in water, and a little bit of water, before you have a drink of water, because it helps you hydrate, helps you take that water in. But it's Celtic salt. It's
no matter where it comes from. Sodium chloride, which is salt, will increase your blood pressure by causing the body to retain fluid.
Yeah. Now look up Celtic.
Do not take it.
Now look up.
I mean, it doesn't matter where it's from. Salt is the scientific word for salt is sodium chloride. Okay, and it will look. The hospitals used to use a saline solution, which is salt water. They don't do that anymore. They just use a highly refined water that takes all of the gunk out of it. It's just the most purest water you can get. They use that to flush the throat. Usually use a flush, and it used to be a saline solution, not anymore. Saline is salt water, and salt will massively negatively affect your blood pressure. So don't take it unless a specifically highly trained doctor says, I want you to take this for this reason. Okay? But certainly don't listen to a Dr. Doom and take a mouthful of salt. God, no.
Absolutely.
Two reasons. It'll eat through your esophagus for a start. It's an acid. And if you mix it with lemon juice, you're basically creating a caustic acid, which will burn through your throat. And it will send your stomach into creating a full acid-based base, which will come right up and cause you what do you call that stuff that comes up and burns your throat?
Oh, it's gastric acid.
Gastroenteritis. Don't do it.
Reflux.
Oh, the stuff he was
digestion.
Out.
Now, Celtic salt is totally different to the sea salt and the pink salt, Himalayan salt, and all the other salts that you get. Celtic salt it's not processed. Like
Carol Mirio just said she's just bought Celtic salt.
Yeah, I swear by it. It's literally, I started taking it, and Paul will laugh, but stuff him. I started taking it, and you can literally feel yourself firing on more cylinders than you were on before.
Well, as a chef,
Next work.
as a chef, I only use sea salt. I
No,
use the pink
I wouldn't
Himalayan
touch
salt as
salt.
well,
No,
but
this
I tend to
Celtic
use
salt
sea
is
salt.
totally different. It's I'll right. If you give me a book, I'll get you some Celtic salt, and I'll send you some information over on it because people are told salt was so bad for us all the time. We need salts in our body. We need salts in our body to be able to absorb other minerals and nutrients. So it's that balance. We don't need sugar in our bodies at all, but they push that down our throats 24/7. We need salts. I used to, if I go on holiday and get dehydrated, I lie out in the sun until I literally look like a frazzle. And then the next day, I'm so dehydrated. I'm like I have no moisture left in my my brain has shrunk and everything. And the first thing I do is have a packet of salt and vinegar crisps and a pint of water because it replaces all your salts.
You mean your best thing to do is try and sort of, if you want to go into 2025 in a really good point of view, start looking at electrolytes and water that's what do they call it? What's the word? There's a word for it. It's like clever water, how they call it.
Smart. No, don't. Anything that says smart on it is crap.
No, the proper ones that are laced with electrolytes, that's the ones to go for. I think it's called smart water, but listen, they're not crap because all of the Olympic athletes use them. So
I got a friend, and he so he's got one of these machines. It's got the two little prongs that go into the glasses of water. Have you seen those experiments? So he does things like tap water, rainwater, all different types of bottled water. The bottled water is probably the worst out of the lot.
Well, well, especially if it's plastic bottles.
As soon as you put it in a plastic bottle, it's got microplastics
in it. My house in Ireland actually has mountain water, so it comes directly through and picks up all of the nutrients and comes. You can literally drink it straight.
Yeah,
we do pass it through. We do pass it through to take out all of the negative bugs and what have you, because you don't know what's falling from the sky. But it's got all of its elements that your body needs. But I tend to, if I'm going to drink water, I tend to try and drink it from a glass bottle.
Yeah, I try and leave. I've got a charging plate, so it's a selenite and copper charging plate. So I'll leave my water on there for a little bit and leave it. There's lots and lots of things that I can put a little bit of colloidal silver in there. A lot of people say that put in 3% peroxide, just like a couple of. I don't recommend this, but a couple of people are saying put a few drops of peroxide in there because that neutralizes the chlorine that they put in it.
And boy, she's got blonde hair.
No, if you actually took a sample of your tap water.
Well, no, you're
send it to the
trying to preach the converting. I don't drink tap water. We only drink bottled water.
Yeah.
But I used to have a fridge in my house in Nancy-Golan, which is a big American one, and it filtered the water as it came in, and it added the nutrients to it. So when it was coming, and to tell you what, nobody drank anything else. Unfortunately, the argument that I have with my lovely Johanna on a regular basis, and it is regular, is she'll say to me, "Oh, bring me up some cola," and I'm like, "Oh." I won't say no to her because it's the only thing that gives her a little bit of happiness at the minute. She loves her cola, but it strips her of magnesium. It strips you of so much stuff. Coca-Cola
stops your body from taking in anything that it needs, and it also stops the brain.
The worst, and don't take my word for it. Go and research it. The worst substance you can put in your body is Coke Zero or Coke.
Oh yeah, the diet ones are even worse.
The worst thing you can put in your body. I mean, literally, you just as well drink dirty water from the garden.
Tell you what's worse. The worst drinks out at the moment, and like I was saying, like we were just discussing, that water holds memory and you can program it. These drinks called Monster and Wicked, and stuff like that that actually have like the 3 lines are actually in Hebrew. That's 666 written on the can that you're buying. You can't tell me that that's not programming what's inside it.
Well, our daughter ended up with almost kidney failure because all she drank was Red Bull.
Yeah, it's so bad for you. So bad.
So
But
I mean,
the reason these drinks,
she wouldn't drink anything else. Wouldn't drink water. First thing in the morning was a can of power drinks, or Red Bull was tend to be the ones I find most tins of. But I did find them Monster ones, and there was some other weird designs. But she ended up in hospital where her kidneys shut down.
yeah, and for a young girl her age, there's absolutely no way that she should be suffering from kidney stones and things like that. It's
Pinky
unheard
says
of.
that her mum's heart. Yes, it will affect. It'll affect your organs in a big way.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
it is
a lot of
super
evidence.
boosted with caffeine. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard a
sugar
lot.
and caffeine.
Now, I've heard a lot of evidence that the diet drinks that have got the aspartame in, that's the root cause of ME.
Won't be surprised.
Lots of people have given up this
I've
drink.
never felt better since I cut. I mean, I used to be a coffee fiend. I would have coffee. I would have anything up to 40 cups of coffee a day. I used
Wow.
to at one point. Now in my day, my average daily intake of coffee is 4.
You see, you know me, I like a cup of tea.
Well, the thing about it is there's the same amount of caffeine in tea as there is in coffee.
Yeah.
So, but I would have, and by the way, I only found it out later in life, but a mug of coffee is the equivalent to half a pint. So there's a half a pint in a mug. So in the first half hour of a morning, I would already downed a pint of coffee.
Now, see, and do you do decaffeinated or caffeinated?
No, can't stand it. Just like my coffee. I'd say to the doctor, it's the only thing I'm not dropping. I don't care what you say. I'm not dropping it. Here's how my day goes. I get up in the morning. I usually take Maya to the college to get the bus to college. I come in, I put the kettle on. I go take the boys out of their run and I feed them. I make a cup of coffee. I quickly look at my emails to sit down, get my day into planning, get it into work, start doing some work. By 10:30, usually around that time, I'll make my second cup of coffee, Johanna's first cup of tea, and we have some toast together. And that's my morning.
So I've got to have my cup of tea when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I always do decaf tea until I realised what they were doing to it to make it decaffeinated, which is worse than just actually having the caffeine. So now I'm on.
There's a lot of good fruit teas out there. There's a lot of Chinese.
It's not a cup of tea, though.
Japanese.
Is it? It's not a cup of tea.
Well, it's a cup of tea. It's tea. It's just not the thing you're used to.
Raspberry. I like raspberry tea. I've got all the strawberry, the summer fruits tea. I love all that. I love it cold in the summer in the back garden with some ice cubes in it. But it's not something that I want.
Maya's into coffee, cold coffee, but iced coffee.
Yeah,
tea
tea
into them.
That.
And she got them from McDonald's. She started drinking them when they would go to McDonald's. Oh, I want the iced latte, this and that, and the other. And I'm like, and this thing, when you go into some of these coffee shops, and you go in and I go, they go, hi, how can I help you? I said, I'd like a coffee, please. Yeah, and they go, stop. Coffee, all right, in a mug, milk, or a cappuccino, whichever is easiest. Don't like the rest of that crap. Just this.
See, every morning when I went to work, I used to pop into the coffee shop over the road and get myself a hot chocolate.
A hot chocolate. Johanna likes a hot chocolate.
With cream and marshmallows would be my treat just to get up in the morning. So that was what I did every morning. And then when I gave up the salon, I thought, right, when I go Tesco shopping, that's going to be my treat. That's going to be my treat for suffering all the miserable bastards in Tesco's. I'm going to go and get a hot chocolate with cream and marshmallows. So my favourite bit of this cream and marshmallows, and I've been robbed of it, Right, 'cause you know when you get to the bottom and all the marshmallows are all gooey and you suck it up through that little tiny hole and it goes, that is, honestly,
Oh,
that's the best part of my morning, right? So
Julia Evans just said cha, which is Chinese tea, and that they give that to you if you are down. If you're down, like you're withdrawn and you're down, cha is excellent for you.
you
Green
see,
tea, excellent.
Sambuca is really good for you then as well. But
I
anyway,
love
my
what
hot
you guys are
chocolate.
sharing. A lot, do share what you like. You know, the chat. Julie Sharp says black coffee always. My brother drinks black coffee, iced latte. Michelle loves an espresso. Oh, my pal went to France. Right, you're gonna love this. This is the true story. He went to France and he went to a little cafe, and it was a proper French coffee cafe, you know. And there was a coffee called, oh, it's the name of that
I
Japanese
well,
famous monster. What's that
is that
famous
the one
monster?
that's filtered through
Godzilla.
the?
Azilla. It was called Azilla coffee, as in Godzilla, right? And he went, "Go on then, I'll have some of that." It came to him in a shot glass like that, and he went, "What's this?" He went, "This is the Zilla coffee." And he went, "What am I supposed to do with that?" Drink it. And he went, "Okay." So he drank it. He had to lie down on the pavement, okay? And
Hyperventilating.
they nearly had to call a doctor for him. His heart went into fibrillation, the whole 9 yards, and they called it. Well, that's why it's called a Zilla.
I did have a boyfriend who was addicted to coffee. His doctor told him that he was addicted to coffee, and he was sent for counselling for it because he was suffering from so many migraines and palpitations and everything like that. And he was addicted to it, so he had to slowly come
Yeah.
off it. He couldn't just cut it out. He had to slowly detox from it.
Well, do you remember way back when we had a bout of a thing called swine flu?
Yeah.
Well, I actually caught that flu. I actually caught it, and weirdly enough, it was in a week of shows. So I was very tired. I was doing shows all night and all day, and I've done something like 3 weeks with only one day off in between each week. So I was tired. So I caught this flu thing, whatever it was called. They always get different names, and I had to have the ambulance had to be called for me. It was that bad, and they went, "Nothing we can do for you. You've got this." And I went, "Right, what do we do?" He said, "Go see your doctor." And so, but I finished off the shows, oddly enough, and I went to see my doctor. And in between that, I couldn't be in the room with tea or coffee. Couldn't be. So I was like getting the shakes, the sweats, the whole 9 yards. And my doctor said to me, "Good news and bad news." I was thinking, "Oh, sugar, what have I? What's wrong?" He said, "Well, good news is, yes, you had swine flu, but you're at the end of it. Basically, just keep drinking lots of water. Bad news, you've just been going through what's commonly known as cold turkey. Because you had to stop your coffee and the caffeine intake, your body went, what the hell is going on?" And you went going through cold turkey. But it was the other end of that I was able to reduce my coffee from 40 cups a day to 4. And I do enjoy my coffee. I use a very well-known brand. I do like the ones that we do filter, and I use a cafetiere, and I do like those. But my basic is a very well-known brand with a red label that I enjoy. Decent teaspoon of coffee, no sugar, just milk, and I enjoy that in the morning.
Jason, a couple of years ago, Jason bought me one of those chocolatiers. Have you seen those?
So,
So you put your milk in and your hot chocolate and your chunks of chocolate, and the flask actually whizzes it up, makes it frothy, and it makes your frothy hot chocolate for you. Oh my God, it makes the most perfect, but you've got to have the right ingredients, which is flake chocolate. So you actually get a chocolate bar and flake it into your milk. Proper hot chocolate. With a
Irish
chocolate
coffee for Barry Hendricks. Look, I used to make the best. Hey, Barry, when I was at college, right, and I studied catering, hotel and catering, one of the tests was an Irish coffee, and it had to be done at the table properly. That was one of the tests. I remember that. So you had to bring all of the ingredients to the table and make an Irish coffee in front of the person properly. And that was, and that you had to, that was passing your, this the side where you're in the restaurant, where you're working as a waiter or you're working as a, in the bar, whatever the case may be. But I remember that so well. I had to bring the glass on a plate with all the ingredients, set it down in front of the customer and say, how do you like it? And then accordingly put it together. And then the spoon had to be warm, and you had to spin the coffee, gently let the cream come off so it stayed on top and didn't, if it went in and even made it slightly milky looking, failed. You failed.
Do you set light to it?
The black had to be black, the white had to be white.
Do you set light to an Irish coffee?
No, that's a French coffee with Sambuca.
Yeah. I've had plenty of Sambucas set light to. Some even I didn't put out first.
A friend of mine was bringing a metal tray of Sambucas lit, properly done, on a and on the bottom it was a paper napkin to keep them all from sliding on the metal tray. But as she was walking across to the table, it dribbled down the side of the glass and set fire to the napkin. Oh, good old days. The good old days. I miss those days so much. I was bringing it out at the same place, College of Business Studies in Belfast, where I studied 5 years. And I was bringing a tray of, what are they called? At the end of the dinner, you have a little shot of whatever, you know, like Irish coffee or whatever the case, not Irish coffee, Irish creams and liqueurs, a shot of liqueurs. So I was bringing them down, and you always serve drinks to the right, from the right, and you're doing it properly. So I was there, and I was going, I said, yours is the Sambuca, or is yours the creme de menthe? Okay, bring the creme de menthe, set it down. The other person decided to lift theirs. Now I'm balancing this, the whole tray on over the person, and I'm standing there going, like, it's looking at them going, own up, you know, an entire tray over this person because she lifted it, set the whole tray out of balance, and she went, "Oh no, it's my fault." I went, "Damn right, it's your fault." But hey, Chris James, good evening, sir. Aperitif, and aperitifs before, not after.
I love a cherry brandy.
I like a cherry brandy.
Cherry brandy. When I went to Ibiza, they took us to a monastery where they made all the brandies.
Yeah.
Oh, they gave us all a little shot glass. And I think it was an afternoon session that we did there. And I just parked myself next to the cherry brandy. I'm fine here. Thank you. You all go and taste the rest of it.
I went to somewhere in Spain. I can't remember where it was, but it was a monastery kind of a place. And you had to get, you come in and they gave you a little glass and you went through all of the different casks all the way. Yeah. I don't remember coming out the other end of it.
No.
I genuinely can't remember going out the end of that place and getting to the car. I don't remember it. I remember waking up back in the hotel.
Mine was an 18 to 30 holiday in Ibiza. And I don't believe in that place. I remember I really liked the cherry brandy though. And what I could do remember on the bus on the way home, the person that organised the trip told us that the monk's speciality was they used to take all the straw and hay that the camels had weed and everything on, and they used to filter the brandy through the hay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, straw.
That they on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how different things were. You know, I mean, today's a different world, but back in the day when they used to make cider down here, all done that way. Chris James just said, "Hey, Paul, there's an echo on the Facebook stream."
Oh.
Okay. Maybe just that one you're on. Chris, come out of Facebook, come into YouTube because there doesn't seem to be anybody saying about it. If you're talking alcohol, he likes a snake bite.
That's old school. That is. I used to be on the Mad Dog 2020.
Well, the snake bite is not the one that was made down in Helston. There was a special one that was made in a pub in Helston.
Lager and cider.
Is what?
Lager and cider.
Oh, right. In Ireland, we have one called a depth charge, which is a pint of Guinness and a shot of Irish whiskey. but you don't. You drop the Irish whiskey straight into the pint and you drink the whole thing in one go.
Ooh.
Mm.
It's, yeah, no, I used to do all the cocktails and everything like that. I just can't handle it anymore.
Well, Michelle is just saying some of my family have just got here. I've got to go for the moment. How long are you on for? Where are we? We've been on for over 2 hours, so not very much longer, my darling Michelle. But we will be back on Tuesday night. We have a show
All
called
being
Ghost
that.
22. If you look, it says Don G22. That's the name of our show on Tuesday night, Ghost 22. I promise you, it's all about having fun. Okay, so do bring all of your family, Michelle, to Ghost 22 on Tuesday night. We have a bit of a giggle. It's all about looking at the paranormal from a perspective. And I will put up pictures and you can tell me whether those pictures are real or not. And video
And
footage
me and
and
Paul
stuff like that.
arguing.
And us arguing because she never gets it right. So Ghost
I'm
22
always
Tuesday night.
right. Even when you tell me I'm wrong, I still
And
believe I'm
Reach Across live on Thursday night. That's the another one that I do for Reads. Reach Across. It's still here. It's Thursday night. All of them 8 o'clock on UK time. I don't know what time that is in your part of the world, but 8 p.m. UK time. For an example, Michelle, it is now. I'm looking around. A quarter. Well, 9:43 here. So that's the time it is. Right. That being said, we've been on for over 2 hours, girl.
and debates the world isn't round. Don't even
And debate the world isn't right. Yeah.
let
All right. It's
two
flat.
a day.
The world. Oh my god. Send me a share if you can. Yeah, I mean, I will do my best to send you a share, Michelle. But if I don't, just have a look for it. It's on the same link, oddly enough, as the one you had tonight. It'll be the same link. So just go to the link that you had tonight and just click it. It'll bring you straight back to the same place. It's on exactly the same place. We really should call it a night because it's now 9:45, and I haven't spoken to Johanna yet.
I've got trifle waiting for me.
No, you could try for waiting for me.
No. I had my roast pork earlier, applesauce and all the trimmings, and my trifle for afters.
Well, I haven't had any trifle, and I am in desperate need of trifle. In fact, I'm having cold turkey because I've had no trifle. Yes, Michelle. So if you just use the same link as you got tonight, my angel, it'll bring you straight back here. It's the same link, so you're going to get the same. Come back to YouTube. If you, by the way, if you have subscribed on YouTube and click the little bell icon, and as soon as the show comes up, it'll tell you anyway. We're live, so it'll tell you that. I will tell Johanna that you miss her. She'll only be too happy to hear it. She, ladies and gentlemen of the world, she is in herself chatting to her. She's, you chatted to her. That's my Joe, and she enjoys her watching her. She's a binge watcher. She's watching Merlin at the minute. But she's very, very lonely because she's all the way up in Exeter, which is 2 hours away from me. So it means I can't go up every day. And she is battling a battle, and I'm not talking about she has a wee cut and has got septic. It's a very, very bad set of wounds that was caused.
Can't be closed like a normal cut.
The doctors can't close them properly. They couldn't even stitch them because of the place that they're in. The stitches just fail. But please continue to put her in your prayers. Please continue to send her healing, and I pass on all of your thoughts on to her. So she loves the fact that I did tell her that we'll be doing the show tonight. I thought I might see her in the chat room. She's obviously not. But she could well have dozed off because the stuff that they're giving her for the antibiotics they're giving her make her sleepy, so she may well have dozed off. I will pass on all the love you guys sent to her. I will definitely do that. Will I be going up to see her tomorrow? Possibly, because we'll just shift Ghost 22 across the Tuesday nights. Let's do that because everybody seems to enjoy it. So we'll do Ghost 22 Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Come and join us then for a bit of a giggle. Then I will see you all again on Thursday for Reach Across Live. And we will tell you in a couple of weeks' time about a brand new series coming in 2025 called Reach Across. no live, just reach across. And we're not going to tell you all about it. We'll tell you all about it in a couple of weeks' time, just before Christmas. Okay. It's been an absolute pleasure. I have to go and create an intro and an exit for this particular show. I haven't done it because we didn't plan on this. This is just created, and you know what? It worked.
Because we always chat. We
People
always
like
chat and we're honest with each other.
I would like to bring. I want to bring people onto the show on Thursday night. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday night, if you want to be part of the reading, if you want to be a reading, and I'm doing a link for you, please, I will be happy to bring you onto the show as a guest. Bring you on, and we'll do the read for you, and then we'll let you go. Because sometimes when I'm reading, and because there's so many people in the chat room, I don't get your response for quite, it could be like 10, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds even in some cases. And by that time, I'm like trying to hold the energy, dealing. I need your response really, really quickly. So if you would like to, I'm more than happy to bring you onto the show so I can do the read like that. Okay. No doubt a certain person will be watching this show and will try and do the same thing, because I've noticed everything he does, he copies me anyway. But then they say that the biggest form of flattery.
We've got to draw a line on this now.
I have, but they say, what is it? Not, what do they call it? Not copying. What do they call it?
Mimicking.
Anyway, mimicking is the best form of flattery, so I'll take it like that. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the beautiful Dawn, who keeps me well and truly in my place. And we will both be back on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Please do come and join us. And please, 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 if you haven't already liked the show, like it and share the show. I'm not going to be as callous and ask you for contributions. I just thought that was
abundance?
I just thought that was.
Do you believe that you have enough?
I do have a charge on my Patreon channel, but that's for service. That's different. You come into the service, you get 3 different levels, 4 levels of service, and the services are second to none. Right? So, for £5 a month, that even includes a reading, a one-to-one reading. Well, if you come to me for a reading, it costs you more for the one-to-one reading than it does to be on Patreon for a year. So, makes sense just to go to Patreon. Pinky. Everybody's putting their hands together. Yes, do that, because we're loving it. Put your hands together, put it up the little clappies. We love it. Thank you so very much. You're going to help us dramatically by sharing the show with your friends, your families, and especially your groups, and inviting them to come along and be part of a very special show. To my dear and phenomenal pal, Dawn, thank you as always. And we have such a great future ahead of us in both the ghost hunting, the shows, the videos, the films. We've got a lot of great stuff coming in 2022. Don't forget, we are starting Paraghost teams around the globe. So if you want to set up a Paraghost team in your area, do it. We'll help you. We'll teach you. We'll show you how to make things happen and how to have a fantastic and productive night. I promise you, it is one of the best hobbies that you'll ever do. You'll have a laugh. Watching Dawn leap into the air when I wasn't even trying was one of the best nights of my life. All I did was walk right behind a tree, literally just minding my own business, walked right behind a tree. She went,
and I have my tea bag in a coffin, so
tea bag in a coffin. I'll let you put that in your mind. I don't know if there's actually pictures of that or not, but I did
straddle. The young ones was like, who would have a coffin like this? Is it a vampire? And there's you teabagging a vampire.
Oh, if you're in the Southwest, our lovely pal Barry is now part of our team as well. If you're in the Southwest, especially younger elements, the 14, 15, 16 upwards, if you want to be a part of our team and come on Paranormal Investigations with us, we will open the doors to you. Please do. Come and join the show. Dawn, anything to say before we say goodnight?
Lots and lots of love to Johanna.
Absolutely. Totally.
And for everybody watching, if you feel something negative and you're watching it, it's your responsibility to switch it off.
If you've got
They
an
will only
energy
have
in your
attention
house, this is, I should have said this. If you have an energy in your house, don't automatically assume that it shouldn't be there. Don't automatically assume it's negative. 99.99999.9% of the time, it's not negative. Especially if you live in an older house, it could well have been the energies of people who lived in that house or in that area before you. There is a universal law, and if you have people energies that are affecting you in your house, you have the right to say to them, hey, listen, this is my house now. I don't want you doing what you're doing, and especially not to scare my family and friends. And they have to adhere to that. If it gets to the point that they are a little bit going on too much and they're doing too much stuff that you don't like, then do contact me. I will send Dawn round. Do contact me, and I will first of all teach you how to get rid of it properly, not stomp your feet, shout and scream at it, or close your curtains, or even open your curtains for that matter. No, we'll teach you how to do it properly and safely, and nothing will happen, and I won't charge you $500 for it. Enough said. Good night. God bless you all. Have a fantastic Sunday night and a phenomenal Monday. And I will see you on Tuesday night along with my beautiful Dawn here. And till then, take care. Good night. God bless. See you all soon. Bye.
Bye.